Alright guys, I'm sorry we've been gone for so long. The DG YouTube recast has had a lot going on since our last video.
And YouTube hates us.
And YouTube hates us, that's a good reason too. But we started school, had to get used to our new schedule. Had to take a little break for a little bit, and we're starting back up again, hopefully on a regular schedule. We're hoping every 2 weeks on Wednesday, along with our new articles on pearsallsblog.com.wordpress.com. So we may not post videos every 2 weeks or articles every 2 weeks, but we'll try to keep at least one or the other every 2 weeks. So hopefully you guys come back to us and enjoy our new videos. Now we're coming back with it's a very simple green-white beatdown deck. We call it a green-white Stompy. It's very simple, very aggro-y, very beatdown.
Sure.
And I've arranged it by curve, so we're going to start at the top end with the 3 Scion of the Vitu-Ghazi. We put this in here because we do like our matchup against control, but we don't like our matchup against mid-range, so making 2 birds sometimes what you want to do so you can get in damage, and then having a 4/4 body on the ground to block their, with the new Theros cards, which we've included 1, because that's what we got from the dual deck, but Polish Crusher or Gorkland Rampager, which isn't from Theros, but things like that are normally a problem for our deck. We wanted to have a way to beat them, or at least trade with them, and make our opponent's attacking not as profitable. So we added him in there. And also for that we added Holocranos World Eater. He's a 4-mana 5/5. Since he's new, I'll read him. Monstrosity of XX green. He gets X counters, and when he becomes monstrous, he deals X damage divided as you choose among a number of target creatures opponents control, and they all fight him, but he doesn't fight them, so that's kind of bad. He'll normally kill 1 or 2 creatures, or after blocks, he can kill multiple guys, then probably die, but he's in there as a 4-mana 5/5 for the mid-range decks, and then he can get bigger, which is also nice. Then we have a Tristani, which is really for the control decks, and against the aggro decks, which really aren't that much of a problem, but at 2/5, they're not going to be able to attack into that ever. And then making, Voice of Resurgence tokens, Advent of the Worm tokens like we have there, or Call the Conclave tokens. He's just really good at doing that and having a sustainable life gain while making more threats to break through in, mid-range decks or against control decks. Really just make it where you don't have to cast anything else. And then we have Advent of the Worm, which goes with our token sub-theme of the deck. It's basically a 4-mana 5/5 trample with flash. That's the sole reason we're playing it. It's 5/5 trample that we can play at the end of a control player's turn, or main face it, or make a surprise blocker in a mid-range deck. It's really good, and it just serves a bunch of roles. And then we have our 3 drops. We have 4 Lockstone Smiter. It's a 3-mana 4/4. That's it. No other reason. It's just big. We have Frontline Medic against mid-range decks, or decks with Desecration Demon, or maybe even Alms Beast, or things like Polish Crusher, things that are bigger than our creatures normally. This allows us to attack in and not care. And against decks with Sphinx's Revelation, it makes them wait even longer, which can give you the time you need to kill them through the Sphinx's Revelations, which is a big deal for this deck. And then we have 4 Banisher Priest. It's a more aggressive Fiend Hunter, so we use it basically to get rid of blockers and get in with our 2 drops, or late game we use it to get rid of Desecration Demons, Scavenging Oozes, stuff that are really annoying for us to deal with. We just put this in here so we could make it easier to get through. And then we have our 2 drops, which is the main focus of our deck. We have 4 Colonian Tusker, Double Green Watchwolf. It's a 3/3 for 2, which is why we play it. Then we have 3 Scavenging Ooze. Though we're not a deck like Jund, where we kill everything, creatures just die because we're an all creature combat damage based deck. So we're all just attacking. So our creatures die, our opponent's creatures die. He'll just come down and get bigger over time. And that's his main point, just get bigger. We have Voice Resurgence. It makes a good token. It makes a star equal to the number of creatures you control. Great against control decks. Great against aggro decks. Fine against mid-range decks. Not amazing, but you still want it because it makes a guy that's bigger than most of their guys. So we play him as we only have 1 because he's expensive, so he's in there. But we also have 3 Gyre Sage. I play this because it's Tarmogoyf in my opinion for standard. It's a 1/2 that gets bigger the longer the game goes. And in this deck, it easily gets 2 or 3 counters with the turns after it comes down, 1 or 2 turns later. He just gets really big really fast in this deck with all our 2-mana 3/3s. Speaking of Watchwolf, we have the token version of Watchwolf, which is also good for the token sub-theme with Tristani and Scion, making more 3/3s. Always good if you don't have the 5/5 trample. And now we're just going to move to our 1-drops. They're really simple. 4 Experiment 1. In this deck, he's normally a 1 green 3/3, sometimes a 4/4, so he's really aggressive. He regenerates against control decks after Supreme Verdicts, and he'll stick around to get bigger after we start drawing our 2-mana 3/3s later in the game, or locks down Sliders, Frontline Medic, Banished Priest, whatever we need. He'll get bigger along the way. Then we have Elvish Mystic to help get into fix our double green if we want to play like tap land on turn 2, or play a Smiter, or Frontline Medic on turn 2, or play our 4-drops on turn 3 and our 5-drops on turn 4. He's a mana dork. He allows us to play all our things earlier, which allows us to go even faster. And we have our lands. We have 4 Selesnya Guildgate and 4 Temple Garden as our mana fixing. We have 7 plains and 8 forests. So we're playing 23 lands, 4, 8, 16, yeah, 23 lands, and then a bunch of spells. And that's basically our deck. It's green-white Stompy, as we like to call it. It's basically green-white aggro. There are several new cards from Theros we want to add, like the new, the brand new Watchwolf, the Lion, Monstrous, gets hexproof and indestructible. Almost impossible to kill. There are a few ways to deal with it, but they won't be killing it in most situations. Stuff like that. The good, solid green-white creatures. And that's our green-white deck. The other video we're going to post is a bug control deck tech from our other co-hosts behind me. And then you're going to see some videos where we basically play the decks against each other. And you get to hear us be dumb and silly. And you can make fun of us. That's fine. See you guys in our next video. Hope you enjoy this one. See ya.